Okay, what do we got here? I've been wearing one of these for a very long time. I've already done a video on one of these quite a while ago, and then finally I found one that I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a chance on this. So here we go. What's in the box? Alright, pretty well packaged. Alright, of course it's going to be oh, fantastic, nice little thank you. What do you think? Any guesses? Definitely a trumpet, isn't it? But you can tell by the case just now. Nicely packaged, actually. Okay. Obviously, I hope that's gonna give you a good idea of what's in here. Never seen that right in a case before, actually. Okay, just a second. Okay. Vintage case, but looks for the case actually looks in not too bad condition. I don't think I've had a case this old before. So yeah, it's a trumpet, and yeah, should be a Bach. I'm always concerned, depending on how these are packed on the inside. I had a trumpet shipped in the UK once, and just because the cases, the bell had got traumatised. I actually ended up holding that trumpet for a while. Oh good, they've got bubble wrap around it. Looks nice and clean in here. Here we go. What do you think? They've got extra bubble wrap around the bell, which is always a good sign. Here we go. Oh wow, yeah. This needs some TLC, but let's look at the bell. Couple of wee blemishes. Is that repair work? Can't quite tell. Oh, it's light. Here we go. Now in the picture there were some dark spots down here. They just appear to be tarnish on top. None of this looks to be anything more than plating wear. And you know what? Apart from around the valve block, and actually, it's a not bad neck at all. The bell looks to be without any serious, oops, I've gone out of focus, trauma, which is really unusual for these light bells. So there we go. It's a Bach 72 Star Corporation bell. I am so chuffed for this instrument. Now, it looks as though it's not a side seam Corporation bell, which is a bit of a shame. I believe they just put some of the stamps on these. I don't know why they put stamp on it when it's not a side seam, but it does look great condition. Now there's some work up there around the brace, so it's had something going on. Maybe lead pipe work, maybe replacement lead pipe. Okay, we just get a wee quick look at the valves. Alright, the valves actually look not too bad at all. Not a lot of wear or tarnish on them. Doesn't have metal valve guides, which I assumed it would have, but that's not a problem. Can get some of those. We'll just do a wee quick compression check on it. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I can move it outside. Okay, I am itching to get a mouthpiece in this trumpet. I'm going to give it a very, very quick clean. I don't know how clean it is on the inside or anything. Maybe even took a silver cloth at it just to make it look pretty, and then we'll get out to the studio and we'll see what it's like. Gonna be fun. Look at the state of that mirror, that's terrible. Anyway, okay, we'll make some noise in a wee minute. See you soon. Okay, we're going to do this quick. 1, 2. Oh no. Have we got any audio? We don't have any audio. Yes, we do have audio. Okay, quite excited. Okay, so here we are. 72 star Strad. I don't know what lead pipe's on it. I always thought they came with a 43. A lot of literature online now says it's a 25-0. I've got some feeler gauges and I've got a 37 trumpet. I have got a Vindabona that I know has got a 43 on it. And now I've got this. So suppose the only real way I can manage that is to try and get inside, or I won't get that far inside actually, in terms to where the other side of the receiver is. I can certainly check the outside diameter. I don't know if that will give me any inclination as to what this is anyway. Right, so first notes, I've not played it. Literally just chucked the trumpet in the car, driven down here, waiting for the family to come and pick us up because we're going out to look at couches. And yeah, absolutely itching to make a sound in this. So let me just turn this mic off, make sure that the 57 is on. Just for comparison, I'm going to do that exact same 5 notes on the X3. Incidentally, I have warmed up already today. Right, just a second. I was thinking about this earlier on. Why is my microphone in front of my face? What if I didn't like my Shilky anymore? Well, that's not the case. I'm a car guy. I really, really like my cars. I've currently got a BMW Z4 that's on the cusp of not being my car anymore. Well, we'll see how far it gets going. But I enjoy working in cars, and I've had many, many different vehicles, etc. And you know, you could equate this to food, you could equate it to holidays, you could equate it to pretty much anything. In terms of cars, maybe you're a BMW person, like the epitome of your ownership would be like a BMW M3, maybe like an E46 in the late 90s, early 2000s. Or maybe you're an Audi Quattro RS4 type person, and you know, that's all V6s or V8s and turbos and stuff, but 4-wheel drive. They're all great vehicles, they're all great cars, they're all, I don't know, maybe you're macaroni versus lasagna or meatballs or something. What's apparent is obviously that there's something out there for everyone. And why did I get this trumpet? Well, you know, when I heard about, or started getting into all the different trumpets that are out there, and I wanted this one and I wanted that one, etc. There always used to be a unicorn horn of the 72 star. And everyone used to say, oh, it's a big horn, it's really, really hard to fill. But in my ears, that seemed to be what I remember. A lot of the lead players back in the day actually used to play, be it in salsa bands or things like that. I never actually knew anyone that played one. And I never really had the chance to blow one until a few years ago when my friend had one actually as just a trumpet to knock about on. He's actually a saxophonist, and I'll share the link to that video up here or up there or something. I contacted him just recently to see if that trumpet was available, and it was bad. It wasn't in a good state at all. It was full of rot. You would have probably had to replace everything, maybe bar the bell. The valves were shocking on it as well. But it played, you know, it had a good sound. So that was my first tasting of like really thinking, I want one of these horns. And then, as you do, too many late nights looking on auction sites, etc. And this one came up. And I finally pulled the trigger and thought, you know what, I'll just go for it. Was I concerned about it being nicer than the X3 or any of the shell keys that I played? Well, I wasn't that concerned. And I was thinking, you know what, if this new trumpet, to me, was the be-all and end-all, certainly for a couple of years, then the X3 would still have a place. It's large bore. It's got so much colour in it throughout it that it wouldn't be going anywhere. Many of us don't have spare trumpets. Many of us are just lucky enough to have one decent trumpet. And I haven't bought a new trumpet for getting on for almost, 9-10 years now. And there's something about these older instruments. So the Shellkey X3 goes back to around about, I think, mid-80s, late 80s. Mid-90s, I think. But this guy here, this Strad 72 Star, this goes back to maybe just a couple of years after I was born. So maybe around about, 77, 78? 70s were a very good year. Anyway, my time is up here right now. I'm going to come back later on and do a little bit more playing. We'll maybe mess around with some mouthpieces and see what we can do. It's time for me to go. Checking you folks in just a few minutes. That'll just be an edit. Okay, we're back. Been here looking at couches. Super quick edit. Okay, so I can't quite remember what I was saying earlier on in terms of comparing the 72 Star to the X3. But one of the things that I was going to say, so maybe I have to edit this out, is that I feel that the 72 bells are very close to the L bell, which is on the B1, the B7, and the X3. Something about the flare and just the presence of the bell seems to be very similar now. I've only really had, apart from the 72 Star I had a while back on like a weekend's trial or something that was really, really rough. I've only really had my own Vindobona bell, and the Vindobona is a beautiful instrument. It's a totally different blow, and the valves are a little bit compromised of that, in that they're a little bit loose. I think they should probably really get replated. So onto this one here. What we're going to do now is, you've already heard me on like the lead setup that I use now, which is my modified S-lead cup from AR Resonance. That is the bronze top and an S back bore. So I'm not going to mess around too much with swapping between tops and back bores, etc. But what I will do is I'll go for like a more kind of all-round setup, which is going to be the SD top that I've got with a medium back bore, and then I'm going to go for the titanium SC cup that I've got, and that's going to be in the large back bore. So that's going to be the deepest, probably more fluffy jazz type sound. And we'll just have a little mess around just to see how this horn feels. I mean, it arrived today from Japan. Well, it left Japan on Monday and it arrived today, so it's done a few thousand miles. And yeah, we'll see how it all sounds. I'm quite looking forward to this actually. Anyway, give us a second. Okay, welcome back. Little bit of a sidestep experiment just now. So I've got 3 Bachs now. Woohoo! I've got a 37, which you'll see now in the pictures. I have also got my, the 37 incidentally has been modified, as you can tell. I popped off one of the body braces. I've got an Amado water key on there, and really that's it, to be honest. I've always found standard Strads just a little bit on the tight side. Probably says again more about my playing than anything else. But I suppose we like what we like, and obviously all the lacquer's been stripped and it's been brushed. It looks like quite nice. And I also have my Vindobona as well. I love that horn. It's been around the world with me. As far as I'm aware, it's a standard 72 bell on there, probably with the 43 lead pipe, as most Vindobonas were made like that. And finally, we have got the new to me Strad 72 Star, which I'm really, really, really enjoying. And what I thought I would do is I'd do a wee experiment, really quite unscientific. But in this part of the video, I thought, you know what? Since we're just talking about lead pipes, etc., let's give it a little go. So I have got some digital calipers that you'll see on the screen now, and they're from Lidl in the UK. So I don't know what the equivalent international store would be. I think Lidl's worldwide now, aren't they? Yeah. So Parkside digital calipers, and you know what? They give an approximation. They're not measured, I'm pretty sure, degrees of accuracy, etc. But they give us a rough ballpark, probably at least a tenth of a millimetre. I'm going to keep it in millimetres since we're in the UK. So, what I can really only do, it's a really, really bad part of this experiment, is I can only measure the outside of the lead pipe. Because of the length of the gauges here, I can't actually get inside the lead pipe to check where the actual lead pipe joins the receiver. That's a little bit rubbish, isn't it? So this little experiment is probably going to not mean much at all. But you know what? For the sake of it, I thought I'd just give it a little go. Because you don't know until you know. Right, okay. Right, so first of all, we're going to start off with my lovely Strad 37. Incidentally, it was my usual go-to guy, Bryce Ferguson, out at Edinburgh Music Centre, that did the work on this. He's going to be getting the Strad 72 as well. And he is going to hopefully be just giving a good once-over health check, get the valves aligned on it, etc. And we shall take it over there with that horn. Anyway, so for now, back to the Strad 37, which as far as I'm aware, and I can't think any other reason as to why it would not have, it has a standard 25 lead pipe. Okay, let's check this out. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure just in front where the receiver actually overlaps the lead pipe. So if you ever really looked inside your receiver, certainly on most standard instruments, I can't think of one that wouldn't. Maybe if you have got lead pipe inserts like Smith-Watkins or Eclipse or that type of thing. Lead pipe comes in here and the receiver is attached on top of the lead pipe. That's quite an important thing. We've talked about gap and stuff before. I've not actually had the gap checked on this receiver, but it can make a huge difference in your playing. So all I can really manage to do, again, because these don't fit far enough inside, to check the inside diameter of this here, which is probably the most important part. I'm going to have a little go at checking the outside. So, let's see, just pop these on the edge here. Very, very scientific. And we have got approximately, providing it's round. Oh, got to choose the right part. It says, am I seeing top and bottom? It says 10.45, 10.46. Don't even know if the lead pipe's round. Yeah, we'll call it 10.45. You know what? Because these are quite inaccurate, we're going to round it to 10.5 millimeters outside diameter here. The other measurement I'm going to attempt to take is, this is shocking, up here, just where the top sleeve leg meets the lead pipe as well. So, let's be a little bit more fiddly. Bear with me. That appears to be 12.6. As far as I can tell, this is a standard 25 lead pipe. Okay, next we're going to try the Vindobona, which, like I said, as far as I'm aware, has got no reason to not be a 43. I can't check it against a shop card or anything. I don't have that. But let's go over to the Vindobona. Okay, here we go again. Up by the receiver. I've not had this receiver gap checked either, which I usually do. Oh, now that's interesting. So the outside diameter of the lead pipe where it matches the receiver. Oh no, it's just gone back down. My shocking absolute use of a tool. In the right place. 10.5. Now, previously that was 10.545. Outside diameter here is showing 10.51. So we're probably still in the same ballpark in terms of outside diameter size. Okay, up to the sleeve leg. Yeah. 12.65. Okay, so it's the same difference in terms of being half a millimeter. No, not half a millimeter. 5/10ths of a millimeter wider on the outside. It's 10th, 100th, that's right, yeah. So, well, there's interest in there, you know. So 5/100ths of a millimeter wider on both points between the 25 and what I suspect to be a standard 43 lead pipe. Okay, right, now on to the LT. Okay, moment of truth, maybe. Right. Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. That can't be right. Okay, so, oh dear. Essentially, I'm getting the right. I'm getting 10.1. 10.1 of the back end of the receiver on this lead pipe. Okay, well, let's move up. 12 point, really? 12.34. So, we've gone from pretty much identical lead, well, not identical lead pipes. Walk away from the mic. We're talking certainly probably more differences than any inaccuracies in here with line. Strad was maybe 5/10ths uniformly different along the lead pipe. The 37 was uniformly different along the lead pipe to the Vindobona. And the LT was uniformly different, but the pipe was a lot narrower. Certainly in the outside diameter. So, I remember trying to check if I could swap tuning slides and things around between my 37 and my Vindobona before. And it appeared to be that the outer bracing, it appeared to be the outer tube diameter was where differences were made in terms of maybe weight saving. But you would assume the inner diameter. This is very, very confusing. I'm going to have to go into Bach Loyalists and have a wee look. Anyway, so the LT trumpet has got the smallest outside diameter. Maybe that's where the weight saving is made. Maybe they draw them thinner but keep on the outside, obviously, but keep the inside diameter the same on a standard 25 pipe. I would need to find some longer feeler gauges to have a look on the inside of the pipe to see what the mandrel of that is there. Maybe one for Brace Ferguson as well. Anyway, loads of waffling in here. This is only supposed to be a small short section of this video. Heavy editing coming up. But yeah, so I don't know what I've learned today. Anyway, I'm in the video. Getting all excited here to show off my new trumpet, and not only do I not have a clue what I think it was on a screen share from something before. You'll see that in the previous one, but didn't press record. Anyway, so we're going to go with the 72. And what we're on now is we switched over from the lead setup to this, which is really, it's an SD. It's pretty much, I don't know if it was originally copied from a Bach. It's more recent than my lead setup, but it's basically, it's a little bit shallower than a C cup, so a D cup hence, maybe like a Bach D cup. So we'll do a little bit of playing on this, and then we're going to switch over onto the titanium one. Okay, right, bear with me. I am recording this time. Oh my goodness me. All right, not bad. I mean, that's not a lead cup per se. It's certainly, it's not a shallow cup, but you can hear that there's a lot in there. It's quite a powerful sound. So we're going to switch over now to this titanium top, which again is a fantastic find. It's one of the really it's an earlier cup on a more modern blank, and one of his first titanium ones. So Antonio copied this rim, and that's the rim that's now on this mouthpiece here. It's really nice, matched up with the L backbore. It just gives it a lovely wider sound. Okay, bear with me. Yeah, over the moon with it. How much did you pay for an old beat up Bach? Well, there's always going to be that argument that says, well, how much do you want that beat up old Bach? But you know, I mean, it's going to be hard to show some of this. There's quite a bit of pitting you can see around contact part on the third valve here, which you'd expect. Something weird has gone on with this first thumb hook here. There's an actual like little crater just here on this thing here as well, and this may not even be the original first thumb saddle, because there's definitely been some brazing going on there as well. Generally, the horn feels great. It feels a little bit fluffy down the bottom, and I think the compression might be just a little bit off in the first valve. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, you've heard it, it's great. So what's next with this? I'm pretty much going to get it full service, valve alignment checkout, etc. Get it cleaned up as best I can. Not going to worry too much about the plating to begin with. Get some metal valve guides for it, because I really, really like those on my Bachs. And I may as well, I'll try it first with my other one, but I'll maybe get another first aid for it from Antonio. Get the gap checked in the receiver. That all feels fine though. But yeah, I mean, mid to late 70s Strad 72, the Corporation, not a side seam, but Corporation bell. It's absolutely stunning. So watch your space, there'll be some more bits and pieces coming up. Thanks again for watching. Nice little diversionary sidestep today into this realm of getting on with and buying new trumpets, etc. And yeah, other than that, stay safe, stay smart, don't forget to practice, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.